They said time humbles everyone. But that day in the precinct's locker room, humility came wearing a badge. And for one rookie cop, it came wearing his own future. The sound of metal lockers slamming echoed through the narrow hall. Rookie Officer Jason Cole, fresh out of the academy, laughed loud enough for everyone to hear. "Man, y'all see that old dude they got on night patrol now? Moves like he's one bad step away from retirement." Laughter rippled through the younger cops. Jason flexed his new badge in the mirror, adjusting his crisp uniform. His skin was fair, his confidence loud, his ego louder. "Man, if they ever put me with him," he said, "I might have to bring a wheelchair just in case." Behind him, silence. Because someone had walked in. Officer Samuel Price, a graying black veteran with 32 years on the force, stood at the doorway. His face was calm, unreadable, but his eyes, they had seen too much. Jason turned, smirking. "Oh, speak of the devil. You lost, old man?" This the rookie's locker room. Samuel didn't react. He just placed his worn cap in his locker, his movements slow, deliberate. Then he said quietly, "Be careful what you laugh at, son. Sometimes the thing you mock might be the lesson you need." Jason rolled his eyes. Yeah. Wisdom from the dinosaur squad. Got it." Samuel just nodded like he'd heard it all before. And maybe he had. Hours later, rain blanketed the city in cold sheets. Blue and red lights reflected off puddles. A call came in, armed robbery at a corner store on 9th. Jason and his partner were nearby. But dispatch announced another name on the same call, Officer Samuel Price. Jason groaned. Why they sending him? Man's gonna slow us down. When they arrived, Samuel's patrol car was already there. The veteran was crouched behind the door, calm, scanning the dark alley beside the store. His hand steady on his weapon. "Price, what are you doing here?" Jason barked. Samuel didn't answer. He motioned quietly, one suspect still inside. Jason ignored the signal. He wanted to be the hero. He charged toward the door. Bang. A shot rang out, glass shattered. Jason stumbled back, screaming as his shoulder grazed the bullet. Samuel was on him in seconds, dragging him behind the car. "Stay down." The old man moved like lightning, low, precise, fearless. He radioed backup, then moved around the corner. Jason's pride burned hotter than his wound. Don't go in there alone," he shouted. But Samuel was already gone. Inside the store, shelves were overturned, alarms blaring. The suspect, a young man maybe 20, held a trembling cashier at gunpoint. Samuel's voice came low, calm. "Son, put it down. Ain't worth it." The boy's hand shook. "Don't come any closer. I'll shoot." Samuel stepped forward, slow and steady. His voice broke through the panic. "You don't want this ending. I've seen too many like it. You've still got a choice." The robber's lip quivered. Then for one heartbeat he dropped the gun. Samuel cuffed him gently, almost like a father guiding a lost child. Outside backup arrived. Jason watched, pale and speechless, as medics checked his wound. The chief patted Samuel on the shoulder. "Price, you never miss a beat." Jason just looked down, shame creeping into his face. He realized the old man had just saved his life. The next morning, Jason arrived at roll call. His arm was bandaged, his pride barely intact. The captain cleared his throat. "All right, listen up. Department's launching a mentorship program. Each rookie will be assigned to a senior officer for field training and evaluation." Jason leaned back, confident again. "Hope I get someone who actually keeps up," he whispered to another rookie. The captain's eyes scanned the clipboard. "Officer Jason Cole." Jason smirked. "You'll be under the supervision of Officer Samuel Price." The room went dead quiet. Jason's smirk froze. Samuel turned his head slightly, meeting Jason's eyes. Not a smile. Not revenge. Just calm recognition. Jason swallowed hard. "Orientation starts tomorrow at 0700, the captain said. "Be on time." That night, Jason sat in his car outside his small apartment, staring at the rain. He replayed the moment in his head, the bullet, the fear, the man he'd mocked shielding him like a son. He'd been so sure of himself, so eager to prove something. But what had he really proved? His phone buzzed. It was a text from the captain. "Tomorrow's training won't be easy. Price doesn't play around. But he'll make you a better cop, if you let him." Jason sighed and looked out at the empty street. Lightning flashed in the distance. He didn't know what to expect. But something told him this old man was about to teach him a lesson far beyond the badge. The sun hadn't even risen when Jason arrived. He wanted to impress, or at least not look scared. Samuel was already there, coffee in one hand, old leather notebook in the other. He didn't say good morning, didn't even look up. He just said, "You ready to learn or you ready to talk?" Jason hesitated. "I'm ready to learn, sir." Samuel nodded. "Then let's get to work." They drove in silence for the first hour. Every question Samuel asked wasn't about procedure, it was about judgment. "What's your first responsibility when you put that badge on?" Jason answered, "To enforce the law." Samuel shook his head. "No, to protect life. Sometimes the law gets in the way of that if you ain't careful." Jason frowned. "But..." Samuel cut him off. "You'll learn." Their first call together came just after noon, disturbance at a low-income housing complex. A young black boy, 14, had been accused of stealing from a store. The manager wanted him arrested. Jason approached fast, hand on his cuffs. "Kid, turn around." Samuel stopped him. "Hold up. Let me talk to him." Jason whispered, "Come on, Sarge, he's caught red-handed." Samuel glanced at him, eyes sharp. "Let's see first." He crouched down, meeting the boy's eyes. "Where's your mama, son?" "She's at work," the boy muttered. "I didn't steal it. I just wanted some food." Samuel looked at the half-eaten sandwich in the boy's hand. Then at the store manager, arms crossed, tapping his foot. Samuel nodded slowly. "All right. You want this handled your way or the right way?" The manager blinked. "Excuse me?" "Your choice. You can press charges on a hungry kid and explain it to the cameras outside." He pointed at a group of phones recording the scene. "Or you can let me handle it like a man with sense." The manager hesitated, then sighed. "Forget it. Just keep him out of my store." Samuel guided the boy away, speaking softly. Jason stood frozen. He'd seen police work before, aggressive, fast, decisive. But this was different. This was power with purpose. That evening, as they parked outside the station, Samuel finally spoke. "You think being a cop is about catching bad guys?" Jason nodded quietly. "It's not," Samuel said. "It's about not becoming one. Every choice, every word, you're carrying people's pain whether you like it or not." Jason sat in silence. He understood now why the others respected him. Samuel Price wasn't just an officer, he was a protector of souls. As they prepared to leave for the night, Samuel received a call. He stepped aside, face tightening as he listened. Jason caught fragments. "Not again. Tell them I'm not backing off. I've seen this before." Samuel hung up. Jason asked, "Everything okay?" Samuel gave a tired smile. "Some ghosts don't stay buried. You'll see soon enough." Later that night, Jason went into the break room and found an old newspaper clipping pinned inside Samuel's locker. The headline read, "Officer Samuel Price exposes corruption ring within department. Several suspensions follow." Jason's eyes widened. The article was dated 10 years ago. Below it was a faded photo, Samuel standing alone outside a courthouse, holding a badge that looked almost too heavy to bear. And behind him was a younger face Jason recognized. It was his own uncle, former Deputy Chief Robert Cole, being led away in handcuffs. Jason froze. That was the family scandal nobody in his household ever mentioned. And the man who'd exposed it was the man training him now. Jason drove home in silence that night. Rain pounded against his windshield again. His chest tightened with realization. The man he'd mocked wasn't just his superior, he was the one who had ended his family's legacy. The reason his father left the force. The reason Jason had joined, to restore the family name. But now he was learning from the very man who'd taken it all away. He sat there, torn between anger and respect. What do you do when your enemy becomes your teacher? The next morning, Jason walked into the station early. Samuel was already there, studying a folder marked Internal Affairs, Confidential. Before Jason could speak, Samuel looked up. His eyes were cold, serious. "We've got a new assignment," he said. "Big one. And you're gonna want to hear this." He slid the folder across the table. Jason opened it and froze. Inside was a surveillance photo of a man shaking hands with a local gang leader. The man in the suit was Captain Harris, their precinct commander. Jason's voice cracked. "Sir, that's our boss." Samuel nodded slowly. "I told you, son. Ghosts don't stay buried. And this one's about to come back mean." The lights flickered above them as thunder rolled outside. Jason felt his pulse quicken. He realized this wasn't just about being a better cop anymore, it was about surviving the truth. Samuel looked at him one last time. "You still ready to learn?" Jason swallowed hard. "Yes, sir." Samuel closed the folder. Then let's start digging. They say the truth doesn't sleep, it waits. And when it wakes up, somebody always pays the price. Last time, rookie officer Jason Cole learned the hard way that pride don't wear a badge. This time, he's about to learn that loyalty might get you killed. The station buzzed with casual laughter, radio chatter, and the smell of burnt coffee. But in the back conference room, behind a door marked authorized personnel only, the air was thick, quiet, tense, heavy. Samuel Price sat across from Jason, that same old leather notebook open between them. On the table, the folder marked Internal Affairs, Confidential. Jason stared at the photo again. Captain Harris shaking hands with a known gang leader, Rico Malone. His stomach churned. This can't be real, Jason whispered. He's been on this force for 20 years. Everyone respects him. Samuel looked up, eyes calm but cold. Respect don't clean dirty hands, son. You just never looked close enough. Jason rubbed his temples. So what now? We take it to Internal Affairs. Samuel shook his head slowly. No. I tried that once before. He tapped the scar along his left wrist, a faint line Jason had never noticed. They covered it up. People I thought were clean turned their backs. You go through the front door on this, you'll end up buried under it. Jason swallowed hard. So what do we do? Samuel leaned forward. We find proof they can't bury. That night, the two men sat in an unmarked car across from Harris's storage unit. Rain fell steady again, just like the night Samuel saved Jason's life. Jason whispered, "How'd you even know about this place?" Samuel gave a faint smile. Old habits. Corrupt men like privacy and receipts. They picked the lock quietly. Inside, the air was stale, dust, oil, and something that smelled like rusted money. Boxes stacked high. Paperwork. Photos. Hard drives. Samuel flipped open a folder labeled Community Outreach Program. Inside, fake invoices, bank transfers, and donations traced to Malone Industries. Jason's heart pounded. This is a laundering trail, he said. He's been moving gang money through city grants. Samuel nodded. Now you're seeing it. Just then, headlights flashed across the unit. A car engine idled outside. Jason froze. We gotta go. Samuel's hand shot up. Wait. They peeked through the small slit in the door. Captain Harris himself stepped out of a black SUV, speaking to someone on the phone. His words were muffled by the rain, but they caught one line clear as thunder. Price is still asking questions? Handle it. Quietly. Jason's breath hitched. Samuel's eyes narrowed, jaw tight. 32 years on the force, and this was the sound of betrayal. They stayed still until Harris left. Then Samuel whispered, "We're not safe here anymore." Back at the precinct, Jason tried to act normal. He laughed with the others, nodded at Harris in the hall, but his eyes told another story. Harris clapped him on the shoulder. "Good work yesterday, Cole. I hear you're making progress with the old-timer." Jason forced a smile. "Yes, sir. Learning a lot." "Good," Harris said with that polished grin. "We all need mentors. Keeps us from bad habits." Jason felt the chill beneath those words. He realized Harris knew something. He rushed to Samuel's desk afterward. "He's on to us." Samuel didn't flinch. "Then we move faster. Tonight." Later that night, they met in an abandoned warehouse by the docks. Samuel placed an old cassette recorder on the table. Jason blinked. "You still use those?" "Digital can be erased," Samuel said. "This? You can't hack tape." He pressed record. And for the first time, Samuel started talking like a man with nothing left to lose. He told the whole story, how 10 years ago he'd uncovered an internal drug smuggling ring. How Harris had been a lieutenant back then, quietly orchestrating shipments through police evidence lockers. How when Samuel tried to blow the whistle, his partner was found dead 2 days later. Jason's voice shook. "You think they'll do that again?" Samuel's eyes hardened. "I don't think, son. I know." The next morning, Jason's locker was open. Inside, a note. "Watch your back. You're on the wrong side." No name. No signature. Just the smell of cigarette smoke and fear. Jason stormed into Samuel's office. "We have to tell someone." Samuel looked up slowly. "Tell who?" "Half the department's in Harris's pocket. The other half too scared to move." Jason slammed his fist on the table. "So what do we do, just sit here?" Samuel stood, his voice rising for the first time. "You think I sat for 30 years because I liked the chair?" Silence. Then softer, "I sat because every time I stood, someone else paid for it. My partner. My wife. My peace." Jason's anger melted into guilt. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know. Samuel sighed. You weren't supposed to. That's why I stayed. But this time, he looked at the tape recorder in his hand. This time we finish it. They laid out a plan, get Harris on record taking a payoff. Use Jason's rookie status as cover. Catch him on tape. Jason was terrified, but he agreed. They met with one of Harris's contacts, a man named Rico Malone. Rico ran a club downtown called the Velvet Barrel. Jason would wear a wire. Samuel would monitor from outside. The risk was simple: one wrong word and Jason wouldn't walk out alive. The Velvet Barrel pulsed with bass and smoke. Rico sat in a back booth, gold chain gleaming, smirk sharp as a blade. Jason walked in trying to steady his breath. I'm here for Captain Harris, he said. Rico raised an eyebrow. Oh yeah? Rookie like you working for the boss now? Jason shrugged. He said to bring the files personally. He placed a fake envelope on the table, filled with blank papers. Rico leaned in. So what's your price, officer? Jason's heart pounded. My loyalty, he said. Rico laughed. Good answer. He reached under the table and slid over a thick envelope. Jason's mic caught every word, every sound. Samuel whispered into his earpiece, steady, steady. Then, before Jason could respond, a voice echoed from behind him. Didn't think I'd see you here, Cole? Jason froze. Captain Harris stood at the doorway. Two uniformed cops behind him, both armed. Rico smirked. Told you he'd come. Jason's blood ran cold. It was a setup. Harris walked over, slow, smiling. You really thought you could outsmart me, rookie? Jason tried to keep his voice calm. You're the one who's dirty, sir. You sold the department for cash. Harris laughed. And who's gonna believe you? A rookie with a chip on his shoulder and a record of insubordination? He leaned close. Samuel Price couldn't bring me down 10 years ago. You think you will? Jason glanced toward the exit, but before he could move, one of the officers grabbed him. Harris turned to Rico. Take him to the pier. Make it clean. Jason struggled. You won't get away with this. Harris smirked. I already have. They dragged him toward the back door. Rain poured harder now, thunder rolling like judgment. As they reached the alley, headlights cut through the storm. A car screeched to a halt. Samuel stepped out, trench coat flapping, gun drawn. Let him go. The officers froze. Harris's jaw clenched. Price, always showing up late to his own funeral. Samuel's voice was steady. I buried enough good men already. You won't be one of them. A tense silence. Then chaos. Gunfire. Screams. Jason dug behind a dumpster as bullets shattered glass. Samuel moved with precision, each shot deliberate, controlled. He hit one of the dirty cops in the leg, forcing the other to drop his weapon. Harris ran. Samuel chased him into the rain. Harris scrambled up the old stairwell of the warehouse, boots slipping on wet concrete. Samuel followed, breathing hard but steady. At the top, lightning split the sky. Harris turned, gun shaking in his hand. Don't do this, Price, he shouted. It's over, Samuel said quietly. You ran out of shadows. You think anyone cares about your truth? Harris snarled. You're a relic. A washed-up old man who couldn't keep his own partner alive. Samuel's jaw tightened. That's why I'm here now. He raised his gun. But before he could fire, Harris's finger twitched. Bang. A shot echoed. Samuel staggered backward, clutching his side. Jason burst through the door just as Samuel fell to one knee. No. He fired. Harris spun, hit the ledge, and slipped. His scream vanished into the storm below. Jason dropped to his knees beside Samuel. Blood soaked through the older man's uniform. Stay with me, sir. Samuel smiled weakly. Looks like the rookie's learning after all. Jason's eyes filled with tears. Don't talk like that. You're gonna make it. Samuel's gaze drifted toward the horizon. You get that tape to someone you trust. Don't stop now. Not when we're this close. Jason gripped his hand. I promise. Samuel nodded, then closed his eyes. Jason's voice broke. Sir? Sir. No response. Thunder rolled again, drowning his cries. Hours later, paramedics arrived. They loaded Samuel into an ambulance, unconscious but alive. Jason sat in the rain, shaking. He held the tape recorder close to his chest. Then he looked up and froze. Across the street, a black car idled in the shadows. Inside, a man in a suit watched him through the window. Jason couldn't see the face clearly, but he recognized the silhouette, Rico Malone. The car pulled away slowly. And on the windshield, under the wipers, Jason saw a note left behind. The captain wasn't the top. You're playing a bigger game now. Jason looked toward the ambulance lights disappearing in the distance. He whispered, trembling, "What did we just start?" If this story hit your heart, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder.